We were live.
Oh, fuck.
I got Sam. I win.
Amazing.
Oh, this is
That was the first
Happy New
word of
Year.
the new season.
First word of 2025 on this channel.
Yes. A
Bitch.
plus. Clipped that
It's
shit.
fitting.
It is fitting.
You can't tell me not to laugh and then expect me not to say something like that.
I mean,
Oh my god, you guys. Hey.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy
We're
New
back,
Year.
bitches.
We're back.
We
We're
did it.
alive.
Ish.
Or are we?
Well,
Spoilers.
that's debatable. Welcome,
Depends when
nerd.
you're watching this.
Yeah, depends on when
True.
you're watching this. Welcome, nerdlings, to our new show. Still Wednesday Night Dice, but we are taking a small break from Skytown and that group, and going to play in Black Ballad, which is from Storyteller's Forge. We are gonna run this adventure. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be grand, and we are running it with some familiar faces and some not so familiar faces, which you'll meet in a little bit. We have some housekeeping stuff first, and then we will get to it. Firstly, I believe it's Wednesday Night Dice / Wednesday Games anniversary. Is that next week? Is that this week? Is that today?
Birthday.
Wait. Uno momento.
My journal is over
If it's
there.
not today, it's
First
within the next week.
stream, session 1 was 1/27/21.
So next week.
So we're at the 1 year
2
anniversary
weeks.
for our session 0.
Session
Yes.
0. So 2 weeks
Close
from today. Well, from
Monday.
Monday.
27th is Monday.
So we'll
It's on
celebrate
Monday.
on the 29th. That'll be great.
Yeah.
So there's that. Secondly, I want to do some shout outs that you may have seen on the new awesome intro that Dustin made us. We have, as per usual, Foundry, Hero Forge, Monument Studios, Fantasy Name Generator, always a fucking list and I never remember all of them. Neither does Dustin.
That's why I wrote them down. And I still forget them.
That's okay. And most importantly is Four Horsemen Publications, who helped publish The Black Ballad by Storyteller's Forge, who are friends of ours, who came from a studio that will not be named. Go ahead and look up that drama yourselves, but created The Black Ballad, which is all about clerics and life after death. So we're gonna run it with them. You'll see in the coming weeks we should have a code at some point, so that you can order this book and support our stream as well as Storyteller's Forge Studio. who will be coming out with, actually, they have a Kickstarter coming up in the next month or so. If you are on TikTok and familiar with the Dark Carnival, aka mostly Hugh, who is one of the PC personas of a TikToker, they are releasing and kickstarting a supplement with the Dark Carnival. So if you know them, that's something to look forward to. But we'll be running this wonderful campaign, and starting in just a moment, the last couple bits of housekeeping. I don't have a graphic up yet because I haven't had time. But we're starting 2025 Extra Life, which is what we do to support the kids. We do it every year. We do it throughout the year. We'll have you can donate in the link below. We have like a little thing in our about page on Twitch. You can donate there. We'll have incentives soon. I just haven't gotten them up yet. So there is that. All proceeds go to Lurie's Children's in Chicago. So feel free to donate. My players, if you would like to donate and pay to win, we'll just keep the same incentives as last year. $5 for an advantage, $15 for the whole crew to get advantage. And we'll keep track of it and then go from there. However, I have a little thing that's been sitting here waiting for today because Tina donated at the end of the year.
Oh yeah. That's right, I did do that.
So we have our last Malort shot of 2024 that needs to be done. We had thought Dustin and I would do rollies for it. However, I'm going to be merciful and I'm just going to do it myself. So, this is also a
Liquid
reminder.
courage, Sam.
Yeah, liquid something. This is a good time to remind anybody who's watching. The charity is for the kids, the stream not for the kids. So we are, take that as you will. Cheers, friends.
Oh, that just looks foul.
Like a boss.
Oh,
Yes.
Ah, the taste of the delicious Chicago River.
I could just.
If it only tasted like the river,
Burns.
I'd be fine with it.
Burns. Oh, and meet our stream mascot. His name is Jacques. He's my little voodoo
Jacques.
cat. Jacques. My tongue burns.
Could be worse.
Oh, could it? Oh God. All right. That's out of the way. Ugh. Gross. If you all are, we are not running music, but I have to figure out how to do that in a particular way. However, if you have been following the Black Ballad or their other Storyteller Forge's other book, The Red Opera, which is all about warlocks, they both adventures are inspired by and supported by Dia Morte, which is a metal band. So if you want to get the vibes of the music that is inspiring this game, you can look them up on Spotify. And they're on there, YouTube, all that jazz. I might end up putting up their QR code on the screen too, so you can find them there. Ugh. Just like lingers.
I hope that's soda so it gets out of your mouth faster.
It's water. I had soda earlier. I regret that
I
decision.
don't think it would mix well with soda though. 'Cause,
It-
if
If it's
a bubble.
yeah, but the cherry, it cuts really nicely with, really nicely. It cuts better with like a fruit base. So like cherry cola, cherry Coke, actually not a bad chaser. Water's just kind of spreading it.
Yeah.
My chest hurts.
It-
My heart
yeah,
hurts, you guys.
That's not good. It's not
That's
good.
Malort.
That's Malort. All right.
I don't think it's supposed to do that.
And
Have some, like, pop- have
I
some,
don't
like,
think it's supposed to
popcorn
make
soak
your
it up or
heart
something.
hurt.
Ugh. Okay.
Indie.
I wouldn't be
Alright.
surprised if I got heartburn from Malort, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get some crackers, Sam, real quick. They'll soak it up for you.
Be okay. I'll be okay. You just gotta pass. We'll
Power
see.
through.
Power through. All right. So we begin, friends, if everyone's ready. Don't everyone be enthusiastic at once.
Let's
I
do
was
it.
trying not
I've
to
been
interrupt
ready
you.
for a month and a half.
Try to be respectful here and getting called out. Typical.
Typical.
I mean, we were
Folks.
extremely enthusiastic before the stream, so it was like, stop fucking around.
I
I'm gonna start the stream, and now all of a sudden,
And now,
It's just always wrong. It'll always be wrong. Just accept
I'll
it.
always be wrong.
Mhm.
It's fine. Sorry, my front door rang.
oh, that's probably our kyber crystals.
Yeah, you want to go get that?
Yeah,
Kyber crystals. Excellent.
Get your wife some
Nerds.
crackers too, Dustin.
crackers. Do you want to?
No,
Do you want a soda? Glass of water?
I'm okay. I have water.
A
I'm okay.
mulligan on every decision you've ever made that brought you to this point?
Wait, hold
No.
on. That last one.
Yeah, wait, that last one. I'll take that last one. That last one for sure. All right.
How much do I have to donate to Extra Life to get that one? Because boy, I could use it.
that's a big donation. I don't know
I got
how.
a lot of plasma.
All right. I feel like I should wait until he comes back. I feel like this was mistimed. I could have been doing all these announcements before while he was doing that. Damn it. Now I have to improvise.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
How much did we earn for Extra Life last year? Sam?
Yes, good call. We earned not quite our goal,
Money.
but we did hit some goals. Actually, that's a good
And
idea.
what will we be doing on stream from the stretch goals?
Hey, thank you.
Love you.
All right. We raised $2,556 last year. And I know my milestones are gone. However, I know we have a satisfactory stream to do. And we have a hot ones challenge to do.
I love both of these things.
So those will probably come in February. All right. Everyone ready?
As ready as we'll ever be.
yes,
Ready.
ma'am.
Let's do it.
Rolling plains of golden wheat and gray grass stretch to a darkened horizon in every direction. The lone feature in the sky is a single, massive purple vortex of clouds stretching over the entirety of the land. Amid the flecks of ash perpetually drifting down, several large droplets of silvery gold dew begin to fall, veins of gold light pulsing through them as they grow larger and larger until they strike the ground with a splash. Not a splash of water, but rather a splash of golden light. Where each one lands, a figure now remains. You all see as the gold flash of light fades. Your party members, some of which you had been separated by, maybe not far, possibly merely feet or miles, but you see them standing now amongst you, familiar faces and friends. I will ask Dermot, introduce yourself. You are muted, my love.
Son of a bitch. I am playing the illustrious and glamorous satyr bard Dermot O'Ferry and Fiona and Tick. And any other wayward nonsense that I seem to be just collecting tiny personalities. Um, I am, like I said, Satyr Bard, the College of Glamour. Um, I am also dabbling in the arts of artifice. Um, so I use music to create things. Um, most of the time, those things are illusory or um, serve a purpose of boosting the morale and abilities of my fellow compatriots. Uh, Other times, they take a more physical form. With the help of Fiona, my trusty violin, um, I have created two things of relative significance. I have, first off, a small clockwork hummingbird named Tick, who flits and flies around and is sort of like an assistant in all of the other things that I do, um, and is a cheerleader for me as I am pretty much a cheerleader for everyone else. Um, the other thing that my music has allowed me to create is a walking crab like mechanical structure that is about the same size as I am, as a matter of fact, um, that amplifies many of my abilities, whether that is to defend me or give additional aid to my friends or provide a little bit of extra firepower. Um, I am truly a renaissance man and a wingman. I think should be my tagline. The Renaissance wingman, Dermot O'Ferry.
Renaissance man, wingman, life of the party.
Yes,
Love it.
absolutely.
Dermot, as you stand tall as you can,
Stand short.
stand short.
I am small.
You turn and you see the fading glow off of the figure next to you, Cadriel. Cadriel, if you'll introduce yourself.
Uh, she blinks a little bit, and Cadriel is an Asimar phantom rogue, grave cleric, and uh, her skin has a fading glow from having used her celestial revelation feature at the last moment, trying to buy her friends time. Um, she still holds her blades in her hands as she looks around, surprised to see her friends here. Um, Her armor is a purple so dark that it's almost black, with a metal emblazoned sigil of the Raven Queen off across the chest, and she has her wings that are not visible right now. And her hair is dark and tied back, though a little bit unkempt, from having just been in a battle. She is definitely gripping the signet of the Raven Queen on her chest as she looks around, and she says, "You were supposed to get out." She looks around to the rest of her friends.
And the one next to you, well, a new friend. Not unwanted, Moose. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Moose is an interesting character as a roughly 6 foot tall, breastplate armored, rangerous kind of almost like Aragorn style armor and accoutrements, and a long pike that they carry, and a few other, a brilliant cloak off their back that they check to see if they're still wearing, and looking around at their friends. And as we pan up a little bit, we see the top half of Moose and start to get a sense that Moose, as a being from the Feywild, is a goose folk. So as you scroll up the camera and pan up the camera, you see the long snaking neck as they cough and hiss a bit, and like just in the panic of the moment, trying to figure out what's happening and seeing everybody around them, they are confused and a bit gagged, feeling at their neck again as if some tragic injury has just occurred, making sure that their head and neck are still attached. They look around for a minute, trying to understand the situation. They check their pockets and chest, and just this moment of unsurety and confusion, as if woken abruptly from a dream, and just sort of tries to take in the whole scene, snaking their head around at kind of unnatural angles, this long Canadian goose head neck, looking around at all their allies and trying to take in the scene and wondering what strange trickery is afoot this time.
Looking around, you see the few before you, German and Cadriel, as well as the next few that appear, and the glow kind of sheds off of them. And you see the closest to you is Arthea. Arthea, please introduce yourself.
So Arthea is she is an elf. She is a very, very pale, to the point of almost sickliness, looking skin, very pale, almost bleached hair, gray eyes. She is an elf chronologist wizard, so well, her specialty is time, and her most recent attempt to buy it may not have worked out as well as planned, but she is dressed in midnight blue robes that have sort of silver threading throughout that gives the appearance of stars and different constellations and different patterns. And when she arrives, looking around, somewhat kind of still caught in that fog of desperation of wanting something so badly that you are trying to will it into existence, and starts to lay eyes on each of her friends. She just kind of see the tension deflate. She's, damn it.
One of the last members of your party hears this, and which may or may not be so proper, but he could probably tell you. Thurston, please introduce yourself.
Thurston is a young noble from Western. Lord Thurston Nullard, if you're being fancy about it. Um, he is a Clockwork Soul sorcerer, always very immaculately dressed. You would not clock him as like a traveling adventurer, with the way that he acts and dresses. And as he like realizes that he's in a different location and kind of looks around at everyone, He honestly just kind of zeroes in on Arathea and just says, "Mm, did we accidentally just go to a different
Not again.
dimension? Not this time."
Not this time.
Okay.
I didn't do this. You didn't do this. You didn't do this.
It wasn't me this time. As he's
Just
like
looks.
trying to put the pieces together. I'm like, it's happened before where they've accidentally gone into other dimensions. So he's like, did we
You
do
you
this?
we
As he's
do
trying
the
to like
quick check of
realize.
yeah.
Mhm.
Was
Moose.
no.
What was
And then
Moose.
then Arathea will turn to the rest of them and just literally, it wasn't us.
yes, because
Seeing you
she's
guys,
her eyes.
seeing y'all back and forth about this, Moose is just like immediately starting to draw some like little Feywild runes to try and detect like, oh god, these fuckers killed an Archfey or some shit while I was gone. Like, oh
While I was
man, we are in
gone.
so much trouble. Like, so he's
It was like
or
a
they
year
Moose is like
ago.
trying to like sense whatever. It wasn't you, then what was it?
This is not one of the ones that we've. This doesn't look familiar. Not to me.
Doesn't seem like anything that was in any of our calculations.
Doesn't feel like anything I've got either. Last member of your party is
What the fuck is that?
also an elf. In coloring, so cold looking that she does appear to be cold to the touch. In blue, icy blue hair and complexion is Faraday, the profane soul blood hunter. And she kind of looks around, and you've seen this calculating look on her face before, especially when you've accidentally plane hopped. And or put yourselves in awkward places unknowns to you all, trying to kind of spidey sense her way into figuring out what the fuck is happening. But she looks just as confused as the rest of you.
Is there anything, any point or any frame of reference here? There's a purple vortex. There is a
Mhm.
dark expanse.
Yeah, I was
Is
gonna
there
say,
any
given the
way to
deity that I follow, is there anything that Kat can try to observe or look for that would give her any clue as to like what the hell happened or where the hell they are?
Go ahead, and if anyone would like to, go ahead and roll either a perception check or I'll say religion or history check.
is first roll?
First
Which one of
roll of
you
the
fuckers?
game.
Which one of you fuckers?
Oh, I gotta get the Thurston dice. I can't use those dice.
You can't use those
Gotta
other
get
dice,
your
no.
Thurston dice.
I bought new Dermot dice
Nice.
when we were in Florida.
Nice.
Oh, right. The D20 was in jail from last time.
That dice been in jail for a month.
I rolled a 23 perception.
I'm just picturing Loki. I've been falling for 30.
Yes. Yep.
Mm.
Or if you would prefer that I do religion, given what I was asking, then that's a 16.
Yeah, I would say religion would probably fit better for what you're asking.
Yeah, 16 then.
All right. So Cad, you looking around, you don't see any familiar like familiar like not milestones. Milestones not the word.
Iconography?
Yeah, iconography. You don't see any like you have studied what your religion specifically thinks of the afterlife and what the Raven Queen, or the Matron of Ravens, however you'd like to say it, has designed her followers' afterlife or what they think it is. And this does not seem like anything that you have studied in books or have talked to other followers about the They're not nuns. The not nuns.
Acolytes?
Acolytes? Yeah, those that take care of the temples that you frequent have not spoken of this place.
I think Cad was in the blood pool at least once, so she's technically
Yeah.
seen her realm.
This does not
should
appear to be
just-
familiar.
Yeah, I should look around and just say this isn't the realm of the matron, not as I've seen it anyway.
Zarthi is flipping
champion-
through a book to like a section that's basically like planes.
Yeah, go ahead and what
Places
is
we've visited. History of 24.
planes and just either
Not this one, not this one,
not this one, not this one. You just keep flipping and
Mhm.
flipping and flipping, and you cannot find a description that matches
Nope.
where you currently are. And I will give this to everybody. That because you can see what you can see. What you see is endless plains of golden wheat and ash. You can see off in the distance maybe some trees. Perhaps some formations of some sort on the horizon, but not really anything distinct or any sort of anything that looks familiar. I'm going to let you all decide what you're going to do for a moment. I need a quick break, but go ahead and continue. I'm not going to pause us. Just going to continue
Just-
talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Real quick, Sam.
Yes.
Just so you can think about this while you're gone. I rolled as well. I got
Yes.
a nat 20, and if
Okay.
we're going perception, that's a 34.
Fantastic. I will get back to
Mm.
that. I'll be right back.
Gadriel is gonna turn to Arathea and just say,
First roll of campaign.
I was trying to buy time. You moved me.
Yes.
You should have run.
You should have run. We all probably should have run.
I thought we did run.
We should have run more faster,
Oh.
but we didn't.
Question of where did we run to?
This was not where I was aiming for anyone to go. I just was trying to move people back into the city, someplace more secure. And I'm sorry, Cad, but well, you weren't going.
Last thing I remember is the smell of the Feywild from that portal Moose opened.
Okay.
Opened, found.
Mm.
Whatever you were shunting people through.
Well,
I don't think I survived that battle, though.
Yeah, I don't.
I saw the matron and the champion, and then I was here.
All I remember is running, and I turned back to do something or say something. I don't even remember what. And all of a sudden, I was here. Did
I
we?
saw Cad go through the portal, and did you glare at me? I feel like you were glaring at me a little bit.
It's a
Are
little
you
bit
sure
hard
that's
to-
not Cad's face?
Not to me.
And I
usually.
look at Cad and I just give you a little wink.
It's a
Only
fair
for you,
point.
Dermot. Only for you.
I think we call that resting Cad face.
I'm sorry I can't help it if my face has subtitles sometimes. But it's a little bit hard to glare when radiant light is coming from every pore in my body.
Moose just looks at you, Cad, as you. I watched you die.
I watched
Oh.
Dorothea die.
Are we dead?
You died.
I
And
feel
I
like
took-
I would know if I was dead.
Would you though?
Well, Cat died and told me to take Faraday and run. So I did. And then something came through the portal after us, and I
walk up to
sent
Thurston
Faraday.
and just like poke you.
Hello, Dermot. We've discussed personal space before. There is a bubble. Imagine the bubble. We've discussed the bubble.
Tell me something only I would know.
There's
I
not
highly
such a
dislike
big
the
bubble.
voice
How
of your
did he get a
violin.
kid?
How
Oh, yeah,
would
she is kind
you
of
know
annoying.
that?
All right.
Moose just looks at Cat and sort of like looking at their chest and like feeling around and like,
Mm.
Cat are there holes in me?
No, my armor was slashed open last I remember. She feels
I
her
think I
back.
was torn apart and impaled. I don't remember all of it. Probably for the best.
So if we died, which it seems like we did, then how are we here talking to each other?
Is this not how it works? I mean, you are the
When I've seen the Matron's Realm before, it was dark and she was there and the champion was there and it was quiet and peaceful. There were no fields of wheat or
This is
I don't know, maybe I was in the entrance hall or something.
we can't be
I'm
dead.
not
This
an
isn't the
expert on
Great
these things.
Migration. This isn't the Great Migration. We can't be dead. This is not where my people go.
It's at that point, Moose, looking around with your nat 20 perception, which if squeak boy. What?
Oh God,
Damn it.
the dog has Moose.
Yeah, it kind of does sound like Moose, doesn't it? I think you need a dog toy just for sound effects. Foley artist it.
I can do it myself.
I can get Nook's a squeaky duck toy from behind me.
There you
Just
go.
like honk it at you.
Moose with your nat 20, which by the way, if someone would like to keep track of nat 20s and nat 1s and Miss Jackson's, Moose, you see turning around, trying to get some sort of bearings or semblance of where you could possibly be. You catch sight of a humanoid heading in your direction, wading through the waist-high grass at a deliberate yet relaxed pace.
Oh God, we've entered Gladiator. No, Moose turns to the party. Someone's coming, and just points them out.
You all
that's
see,
promising.
as the humanoid draws near, amongst the darkness here, because it is rather dark. It's more like a perpetual dusk, which to some who are familiar with the Feywild, not necessarily as weird as you may think, but it is definitely darker here. You see though, in that somewhat darkness, a flash of white under a wide brim hat. And realize that an animated skeleton is approaching you in a long
Yes.
overcoat and carrying a walking stick of tan gnarled wood.
As they are approaching, how far away are they at this moment?
At this moment, probably 50 feet.
Okay. as soon as I see them and realize that it's just one person, and they either aren't trying or aren't trying very hard to be stealthy, I will immediately begin a counter charm for the group. And I am playing the Super Mario World 1 Level 2 music. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Cat just
That is the
calls
music
out.
that I am playing.
Yeah, I think Cat would just call out to the skeleton, just say, before he gets, closer than probably, what's max spell range, like 30 feet. Stop right there. Who are you? Don't come any closer.
Yeah, this is gonna sound racist,
Yeah.
but can we tell that this isn't the walking
This isn't the
sentient
one that
skeleton
we.
that we know?
Yeah, I look to Thurston, and it's like, is this Renly? That was his name.
Is this our skeleton?
Bones.
Wait, is that Bones?
Bones. Is it Bones? I don't know. We don't really know what happened to Bones. We sent him
Bones.
off.
I thought, like, I don't know if
Skeletons
this
look
is.
like bones.
Thurston, like, under his breath, is like, I don't know if is it racist if I don't know if I can't tell the
It's
difference between one skeleton and another. I feel terrible.
Guys, give me a second.
Between measures of my song, you just hear Dermot call out, "Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Bones, is that you? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun."
Uh, go ahead and roll me as I fix the overlay because I tried to fix something little and fucked it.
Oh, you sure did.
Is this ours? Is this our skeleton?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check? Insight.
24.
Natural 20 perception for 33.
Damn. Also
I have a plus
24.
13 to perception.
And I got a Miss Jackson for insight.
Okay. Those that are looking to. Right, I think I fixed the overlay. Sorry, guys. I was trying to fix like the most minuscule
it looks
thing.
good.
So I'm gonna stop fucking with it now.
It happens.
Those that are rolling insight. Well, yeah. Perception. Bones doesn't wear clothes, and you don't see a rat.
Good. It's true.
And they don't move. They move with. So Bones always kind of felt like more. This is gonna sound speciest. Bones always moved a little more like. Okay, maybe not species. More like a puppet or like an inanimate object that could move. Like a little more like spooky, scary skeletons, like on strings kind of movements.
Okay.
This being seems to be moving more fluidly, almost like they are humanoid that happens to be a skeleton than a skeleton who happens to be awakened, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cat will just say that's not Bones.
For anybody who would also, you guys all rolled like fucking phenomenal. Insight, they are open. They have that long overcoat. And you can see like as it kind of billows back. It's not closed, it is open. You can see like a tunic that probably has seen better days and a pair of pants and boots. These boots are like obviously very like big and like how like old like really worn leather boots always like kind of look like they fall open and like are just kind of tied together very like basically with twine and hope. That's kind of what this creature is tromping through the wheat in. Um, no other weapons, and the stick that it holds, this this walking stick, seems to be more. They're not brandishing it like a weapon. Now, you know beings that have innocuous tools that are technically not weapons, but they're not. This one is approaching you using it as a walking stick, not brandishing it as some sort of defense. Um, as they get closer, uh, you see as they hold up their hand, and a voice comes to you as he shouts, a male voice, and says, "Greetings, fellow dead folk, and welcome to the Sunless Crossing." And he kind of opens his arms. At this point, maybe 20 feet away.
I look at the rest of us and say, "Shit, we are dead."
Apparently,
Moose is just gonna
some
just to try and suss out a little bit. Just cast Starry Wisp, which is just a cantrip
Okay.
attack, just in the air, making sure that like it's not a weird illusion that's just around us. Not trying to like send up a flare necessarily or anything, but just taking a moment, having been fade several times.
Yep.
Can I cast magic? Is this place real? Just trying to get a quick sense of that.
You can cast the spell.
All right.
And it does, yep, it goes off with no problem. The Tell me about Starry Wisp. I think that's a new spell.
It is. I think it's from. Oh, it's from the new free rules. I thought it was from Humblewood, but no, it's this from the free rules. You launch a mote of light at one creature or object within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. Until the end of your next turn, it emits dim light in a 10-foot radius and can't benefit from invisible. So it's just
Perfect.
it's like a small flare,
Little flare.
essentially, is what all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to know if it let off light.
Yep,
You,
just a little bit.
yeah, you shoot that off just high enough that like Goose's head kind of gets illuminated. And yeah, like a dim light bulb or like a small candle, basically, you get a little bit of that spotlight. Um, it doesn't seem to make much of a difference out here, but you do spot kind of this glimmer of gold amongst you, around you in the wheat itself. Um, and it does kind of illuminate the skeleton that approaches. You see now the shadows in its eye sockets grow steeper. The caverns in its mouth and the teeth um kind of deepen, and it looks a little intimidating in the shadows, but doesn't seem to waver. He doesn't falter as he approaches. He does approach slowly, almost as if not to spook you all. But friendly enough. And you can cast
Yeah.
your spell. Um there's
We're not in a
no
weird anti-magic
yeah,
or
no
we're
anti-magic
not.
or anything like that. Eventually, after a moment, I think it probably lasts for a minute, I assume.
No,
Oh,
it's
it's
an
just an
attack
instant.
spell.
Okay, so it's
Yeah, so
instant.
it's just like it, and it.
it's a cantrip.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
see that light kind of almost like like when when a flash goes off on a camera. You see that flash across the skull's face. Which gives it this almost sinister look, but which almost kind of betrays the friendly waving that is happening here. But
Yeah, it lasts until the end of your next turn. So it'd
okay,
be like 10 seconds of
yeah,
just like, again, just trying to like suss out if this was an illusion. If we were
Mhm.
dreaming, it probably wouldn't work the way I expected it to work.
sure.
You know,
Yeah, it
just
gives off kind of exactly what you expect in terms of the effect and the feeling of casting that magic.
cool. Thanks.
He does hold up a hand and say, my name's Johann Marrow. Yes, as in bone marrow. And no, the irony is not lost on me. Let's begin by addressing the 800-pound gargoyle in the room. That is your life and death. If that's okay. And he kind of looks at all of you, still kind of, keeping a distance, but not attacking, not responding, just kind of respecting that you all may be a little freaked.
Do you plan on explaining to us where we are now we got here? You can come closer,
How do
but
we get home?
Let's start this one thing at a time. First off, and he kind of like he tucks the walking stick like in his elbow, and he holds up a finger and he touches it with his other finger. You died. All of you died. You are dead. Deceased, if you will. Your soul hath shuffled off this mortal coil. You can take a moment to let that settle in. Although from the conversations I heard.
I don't feel dead. And my
Would you know what
magic
dead
still
feels
works.
like?
if we're dead, where's the matron's champion? Why is it you that's greeting us?
Well,
Where's the Great Migration?
that's the thing. This is the Sunless Crossing. It's not the afterlife. This is the space between life and death. A limbo of sorts. You have not reached your final destination. This plane is where souls go when they die across many multiverses, many planes. And go to wait. Some wait for resurrection if they think it's coming. Some wait for the right time to accept what has happened and cross over. It is kind of your show, but I am here to get you where you need to be, which is the city of Noxvalar on this plane.
What language is he speaking?
Speaking.
Or are they speaking?
He is. You're getting a very distinctly male. Johan speaks.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, that's a very good point.
I'm mostly curious, like, we see teeth chattering and a voice coming out. Are we hearing it in our heads? Is it actually producing sound?
It is actually producing sound.
Are we hearing common? Is he speaking, what? Moose,
Yep.
how are we dead? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes sense, but also, what?
Yeah, you are hearing this voice. It is not telepathic by any means. You are hearing common, but well, yeah, you're hearing common. Which is common to you. He does look at you all as if kind of like gauging if you've understood what he said. I say
Arthea
looking.
looks very excited when he said that creatures from all planes pass through here, either to go onward or to potentially go back, because she's latched onto that means you can go anywhere from here. You can go everywhere. She's fixated on that now.
Yes, the implication that this is where you can cross over means that there is always the option that you can cross back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
Will
direction
going to
is
this
back?
city give us better information on that option?
As long as you play nice with the godless monarchy, you, like many other souls, will find your way, whether it is resurrection or otherwise. Acceptance.
The what now?
The godless
Yeah.
monarchy. The ones who run the city.
Yeah.
Moose just
Is
looking
that
around at
a
the rest of the group,
title?
like,
A
Profession?
A little
Type
bit of both. It's a title.
Species?
No, definitely a title. Although she would probably laugh at that.
she?
Sovereign. Who you might meet.
And what's the name of the city again?
The city is
Knoxvalar.
Nox Valar. Noxvalar.
I did an E instead of an A.
I should have done spelling bee. Next one. But if you follow me, probably most of your questions will be answered. We have a little bit of a ways to go, but journey is worth it.
If we died,
Mhm. Which you did. Not if.
which we did,
You did.
when we died,
For sure.
were we successful at what we were doing before we died? Is there someone here who can tell us that?
Possibly. I can't tell you that, but
It's a skeleton, so like obviously our facial features and things are going to be a little bit limited here. But do we get the sense that this entity is telling the truth here?
roll me an insight check.
Come on. 31.
Fucking Jesus.
Sam, before you answer that, before you tell Mike everything that he wants to know,
And I do want to know everything.
Is Ashley Madison password?
I first, does anybody else in the party speak Sylvan?
Faraday
No.
does. No, wait, no, she
Okay.
doesn't. Wait, hold on. Yes, she speaks Sylvan. She speaks Sylvan, not Elvish. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Okay.
'Cause it's funny.
I ask Johan a question, and I say it in Sylvan. Is he gonna understand what I said?
Oh, what do you ask him?
How much mud could a mud bug lug if a mud bug could lug mud? And then
Does it
I'd like
also
to roll
rhyme in
insight as
Sylvan?
well to gauge his reaction.
I just look
Uh,
over, like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, like I speak Elvish, so it's like
You get a
it's
little
just like
bit.
slightly there, but
but-
Yeah.
like the nuances that not there.
Yeah.
yeah.
I say this thing, and it just sounds like wind rustling through the leaves.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll
Moose
me
is
an insight
immediately
check.
signing at you. What are you talking about? What's going on?
And then
Oh, I just burped. That was.
Did it taste like Malort?
Yeah, I did.
Lordy.
my insight is a 28.
Fuck you guys. Jesus.
We made level 16 characters.
level
I
16
know.
characters.
Actually, that's a very good point.
And I'm a fae. I'm really good at insight.
Yes, you are.
Sam's like, shit, my DCs just went up.
No.
Double it. Give it to the next one.
I mean,
Bop it. Smack it.
you say that weird tongue twister in Sylvan. And he what? That's a very good question. He responds in Sylvan. Tell me it one more time.
Hold on, I have to pull it back up.
How much mud could a mud bug
How
lug
much
if a
mud
mud bug?
could a mud bug? How much mud could a mud bug lug if a mud bug could lug mud?
So it's the woodchuck rhyme.
It's
but
the
with a mud
woodchuck,
bug.
but with mud bugs.
He responds something witty in Sylvan.
As much bug, as
much mud as
a mud bug could lug if a mud bug could lug mud.
Yes. And he says it in Sylvan.
Okay.
And he kind of gives you like this he gives you finger guns and says, I appreciate you testing my Sylvan. I haven't used it in quite a while. For both of you for insights, you get the feeling that Johann is kind of chill. He seems to be genuinely trying to answer your questions. He doesn't seem impatient. He seems to wanting to answer questions while trying to tell you what he's about. While trying to be social. He seems to be very kind. There doesn't seem to be really deception here. He's not telling tall tales. He's not twisting any, stories to get you to believe him. He seems to be he's been blunt.
He's speaking very plain.
Speaking very
and
plain.
Unambiguous.
Unlike a fae, yes. And you two would definitely know that he is speaking pretty much the opposite of a fae. There is no like mincing of words or flowery language. He's being upfront. He may be speaking with jargon that you don't know. But he's not doing
He's
it.
intentionally not being ambiguous.
Correct. Or like hiding certain things. Like he's not hiding. He repeats himself. Yeah. He's not acting like a fae.
I resemble that remark.
You do.
Both of you
Hey,
do.
watch it, buddy.
In very different ways.
Yeah, I just look at Moose and just kind of like half whisper to him. Well, he's clearly not a fae.
Moose
He's
just
obviously he's a devil.
Moose starts to sign back. Does that mean we can trust him? And then stops as you say clearly a devil, pauses and clearly question mark.
I like him.
Any other questions for me?
How long have you been doing this?
Oof. Doing any kind of like gestures to like the area and like his walking stick. Well, I kind of wandered the ashen fields. He gestures to the fields around you. About 100 years after I crossed over. They offered me a position as a shepherd, an ashen shepherd. Once I decided that resurrection was not in my cards. I've been here ever since. It's been long enough for me to learn Sylvan from a couple people.
Does time even move in the same way in this plane of existence?
To a point, we keep track of it. There's no sun. It doesn't set. It doesn't rise. But
it's regular.
Yeah, pretty regular.
Okay.
At
The
least
math
within
still
the
works,
city.
It's good.
Yeah. At least within the city.
Moose turns to Cad and signs to Cad. Would it be rude to ask him if he had his organs then and lost them? Or
You can't just ask people why they're missing organs.
that's kind of what Moose is saying. Like, are we gonna turn into skeletons?
I suppose that's a good point.
And so, how long have you been here? You didn't actually answer that question.
Yes.
I don't
Uh,
think time moves the same here.
Well, no, it moves.
So Dorothy, I
That's-
like explain.
it moves. It continues. I don't want to say progresses, but that's not very accurate. But it's regular. He's saying.
I mean, clocks
be
are a
marked.
man-made construct, right?
Yeah, time itself is a man-made construct. So
It's all about your perception of it.
yeah, it's how we impose our structure on something that is far beyond us.
You perceive it here. I would say probably, I don't know.
Moose's eyes are glazing over at this point. Like, time and the Feywild and the material, it's all. That's for wizards.
He's like closing his second eyelid as they
Yeah, he kind of shrugs and says, well, there's 100, and then, I don't know, you carry the 1.
They carry the 1 here.
Oh, good.
my
Math
friend
is still
wants
the
to
Wherever
same.
you go,
Maybe
the
Just
one
shy.
universal construct.
shy 200 years, maybe? I've kind of lost track. You know, like when you get old enough that you forget how old you are, or you have to do the math to know how old you are. Kind of similar thing.
There's only 2 elves among this party, so I don't think most of us have that problem.
Well, I mean, it's just like the Feywild, you know, that the sun doesn't move like the material plane. You just walk towards night or walk towards day, and we're not going to be able to track a solar event. Am I understanding?
Well, I've never been to the Feywild, but sounds about right. And Faraday nods, like having been basically raised in the Feywild, she nods and it's like, no, like remember I didn't know how old I was when I went to when Dermot and I showed up in the material plane.
That's
Happy
true.
birthday, by the way.
Thanks.
Is it a birthday now or a death day?
Well, I guess it would be a death
Both?
day. Non-birthday?
Happy
Every day is her birthday, according to Dermot.
Breath day?
Yeah.
Is it both?
So... No.
Rebirth day?
Bizarro birthday.
I feel like rebirthday would be if we get
Bizarro
resurrected.
Unbirthday.
When we get
Unbirth
resurrected.
day. It's your unbirth day.
Unbirthday.
I'll be right back.
Unbirthday.
It sounds a little less morbid than death day.
Yeah, I like an unbirthday. It's got a nice. It
got a
weirdly
nice-
has kind of a nice ring to
not-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I start playing the happy birthday song in a minor key.
Yes.
It becomes like this just weird.
That sounds like a funeral
dirge.
march.
No, it's
My-
definitely
My
a
body
dirge.
had a visceral reaction to imagining
just gonna
that.
say. Like it's oddly appropriate for the situation.
It's just that scene from Gladiator with Happy Birthday and the minor key in the background.
Yeah, and Johan just kind of he just stands there, lets you all talk it through, waits for any other questions. Seems very patient.
Assume he's patient. He has nothing else to do.
So, were you a skeleton already when you came here? Or are we gonna turn into skeletons if we stay here too long?
I apologize. We are still working on manners with some members of this group.
We need to
I'm just
like
asking a
staring-
question.
You can't just. He's like, I have to add this to the list.
The rules keep getting longer
Longer
and
and
longer.
longer.
To be
guys.
fair, we keep visiting different places that have.
Wait,
different
you think he
rules.
doesn't know he's a skeleton? I'm so sorry if you didn't know you're a skeleton.
What? I'm what? And he kind of holds up his hands, like clearly joking, but looks at them. Oh my god! And he starts patting his face and like it holds on to like whatever bones are in his neck and like starts patting himself down.
It'd be your just grabs his
His
spine
spine, yeah.
under his chin.
Yep.
Ugh.
And then he laughs, kind of like gives this really big laugh where like the jaw kind of hangs open and like it's really comical and like goofy almost.
Does it disconnect on one side so his jaw is just like
Yeah,
swinging
it's when
open?
the magic kind of gets a little wonky right there, like when two magnets get the wrong polarization and they start like getting wonky and pushed away, similar to that, and it just kind of swings. And he adjusts it, sticks it back. He says, no, you don't. I may pass here, but you all are as you were in life and you'll stay that way. I
Like the Astral
was
Sea.
sure. Yeah, let's say like that. When I finally crossed over, I was not
Wait, let me guess.
Bet you won't.
Dragon.
No. No, unfortunately.
2 dragons.
At
You
the
think
same
very
time.
highly of me. I bet you're an adventurer.
I have been called that before. I've been called many things.
Not all of them complimentary.
All of them fun.
That's true.
All of them well earned.
Even more true.
No. Unfortunately, it was not so adventurous or grandeur as dragons.
Gelatinous cube. We've all been there.
Mimic.
Mimic posing as a gelatinous cube.
That's just mean.
Necromancer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got a little too
getcha.
involved. Hence.
In a romantic sense or in a professional sense?
No, professional sense.
Okay.
You know, an unfortunate little gambling problem turned into a much bigger soul problem.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I've been in the Sunless Crossing ever since, and pretty content here. Now, that doesn't mean you all have to be content here. Once we get across the Ashen Fields and you are, face some things, come to terms with your deaths, so to speak, or perhaps some things in life. There's a bit of a journey before we reach the city.
Are we gonna have to like reckon with all of our like ex-girlfriends and stuff? Like everyone we've wronged?
Is that list long?
Who's asking?
It probably depends.
What are you, a cop?
No. Just your shepherd. Well, how about this? We keep walking. I get you to where we're going next. And then the place after that. And then the place after that. We just take it one stop at a time.
All right, last question.
Sure.
Is there a tavern?
There actually is.
Well, then what are we waiting for?
He will kind of gesture with his walking stick and start heading off in a direction towards the horizon, clearing somewhat of a path in the tall grass. As he moves, you watch as he brushes ash off of his coat, muttering something about just this damn ash just covering everything lately.
Let me
he
get that
shakes.
for you. And like as he's shaking, he he shakes, and no sooner does the dust and all the grime off of his bones and his really nice coat, um at least I'm assuming it's a nice coat, or at one point was a nice coat.
Probably closer to that.
No sooner does all of the dust start to detach from him that it just disappears as I cast Prestidigitation.
And a nice trick. I should try and learn that one day.
I'm here to help.
What causes that ash? Don't see a volcano or anything of that nature.
He looks up and points at the vortex that is turning above your heads and the storm. And says it is, I need the proper noun. Most of it comes from the storm of broken worlds. It's what surrounds this place, and if you look kind of squint your eyes in the distance, you can see the edge of it. And it just kicks up a lot of, and he kind of like pulls a hand through the wheat, and you just like pulls a handful of it up and lets it kind of drift.
And what's it called again?
It is the Storm of Broken Worlds.
Broken World.
Is it quite literally broken worlds?
Mm,
Is it inappropriate to take ash and keep it for later?
don't see why not.
Grabbing a vial and
Sure.
just gonna scoop it up.
Add it to your inventory.
Yeah, vial of broken world ash. Just in case. I'm not going to taste it right now.
Right now.
Maybe wait till you have a drink to wash it down.
There's probably other tests that we should do before we resort to just tasting it.
It's a very good
Do you
point.
remember that one time?
Which one?
Yes.
Time her tongue swole about the size of
Yeah,
her hand.
it did. It did. That was those candies. I think I still have those somewhere. At which point she's looking around. Who had the bag of holding?
I thought you had it.
I don't generally carry it.
Not on me.
Well, you had.
I have my own pouch, my components and such. Mm. Components book.
Didn't we upend it in that strange little realm thing you have? Just know you told me I couldn't keep all my swords in it anymore.
You can't. You can't keep all your swords in it. Oh, I mean, we still carry it though.
Well, okay, if Arthea doesn't have it, she wasn't carrying it, it would have been on me. So,
Would it have been one of your items?
Yeah.
no.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have come with me either.
Yeah.
I don't think. No.
You all kind of.
I upended. I mean, I didn't upend the bag. I upended the bag, but just to take things out of the bag because we decided it would be a good idea to not store so much liquor in it because we had started accumulating quite a bit. So I put the liquor into storage along with some of the other just, let's be honest, useless crap.
I had
I
it
mean,
used
I
for
wouldn't
every
have
one
said
of
it
those
like
swords.
that.
Has anyone used those swords ever?
Yes.
Are you? No, you have not.
The people that I took them from used them at one point. They were just encase blades.
Just in case what? How many swords of yours have to fail before you get to those ones?
I mean, I like to have a lot of backup plans.
Either way.
Have you ever had a sword fail on you? To the point where you needed a replacement?
No.
Yes. Although I was using it to pry open a door. That's probably not what you meant.
Hey, it's a
But
fair
it
point,
does
though.
prove her
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way. I guess
I mean, I
don't have the bag of holding.
wasn't really focusing on it at the time
I was
of
just
the
trying
incident.
to keep others alive.
Yeah, Thurston will kind of look at himself until they realize, like, I was most certainly holding, like, like I had other things on my person
Yeah.
Mhm.
at that moment, and like do a count,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah, Cat'll like look down. My boots of Elvenkind are gone.
Are you barefoot right now?
where would
No,
our
these are
things not
just
have?
regular boots.
Does the plane not allow certain items to cross over?
Johann will turn and kind of look at all of you, like walking backwards, very just like he seems to be taking this pace at like a jaunty hike kind of like pace, not really fast, just but not like trudging. And he turns around, and as he's walking backwards, he looks at all of you, kind of, patting yourselves down, checking pockets. Y'all adventured for quite a while and had a lot of shit. If your inventory looked anything like Faraday's, she was carrying a bunch of garbage on her.
Oh, yeah.
And she's looking through like her belt loop where one of the whips was supposed to be, and like she is scouring every inch of like everything. And Johann clicks his fingers and says, "Right, okay, belongings. Not everything would have crossed over with you.
Even if it was on our person.
You'll probably find things that were extremely sentimental came with you in some way, shape, or form, but not came with you either. Just kind of willed into your possession. The actual item is still where you dropped it. Where you
will,
dropped.
like, if we left things to somebody.
No, well, I mean, if you left things to somebody, hopefully someone would pick it up. But if you, with willpower, or had such a connection to an item, it could show up here in your
She holds,
limbo.
she holds up her two swords that Arthia made for her with her magic and all that. Is that why I still have these?
You got a personal or sentimental connection to them, yeah?
She looks between Arthia and Dermot. They were a gift.
Cad, you look at Dermot just as he takes a really strong, close look at Fiona and plays a quiet, soft melody, and Dermot disappears.
Dermot.
Oh, thank God.
Faraday immediately was like on guard, about to freak the fuck out.
Yeah, Dermot is
Moose has
gone, but
blind
you can
sight.
hear him
Moose
just
totally
say,
saw him.
"Oh, thank God."
Moose was just waiting to see, like, oh, is he about to just drop some shit on this guy we're fighting with? Are we about to? So Moose was like prepping for like very quietly, like getting into a combat position, and then it's like, oh, whoops, okay, it's just
It's just Dermot.
Dermot. It's just Dermot.
Dermot Dermoting.
Dermot,
I feel like Moose understood this faster than everyone else in the group just because of where he's from.
Yeah.
Like he caught on to that aspect of Dermot's personality very quickly.
The blind sight certainly helps when Dermot just decides to disappear occasionally. It's like, oh,
He doesn't
why
even
are
realize he's
you?
disappeared. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Moose's neck is just craning around. Everyone's like, "What's Moose doing? Where's Dermot going?"
Faraday probably recognizes the tune first, but all of you are familiar with the tune that Dermot plays when he casts invisibility.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Thurston suddenly realizes that he doesn't have any money on him.
Oh.
And
Nope.
he's very quickly in his mind like, how does one
Barter.
go to a city and exist in a city and try to sort out how to get back to where he's from without being able to pay someone? How do you not have money? And he's like walking and having a slight existential crisis.
Do you say any of this out loud?
Yeah, maybe at one point he kind of goes, does anyone else have any of their funds on them if we're going to be staying in a city?
Faraday pats herself
Any
down.
lodgings?
Yeah, Cat pats herself
No.
down. I don't have anything.
I didn't. As per usual, I did not have much on me to begin with, but I don't have any of it with me.
I did explain that you should probably start investing so that then you could actually grow your money in order to be able to buy more
I did.
components.
I did. I put it into the fund that
I'm
you recommended, but I don't
okay.
think that
Yeah.
they, at least from what I recall from the paperwork, I don't think they allow cross-planar trades. At least there's a
Oh, that
fee.
is different. Yeah, it's usually very expensive.
Yeah, you keep saying grow your money, grow your money. And I tried to plant all of my money and then you took it from me.
It's a
Just
metaphor.
watch the light die in Thurston's
Literal.
eyes.
He's remembering.
I planted it,
Yeah.
I found a good pot, I gave it water.
You know,
And sunlight.
though, to be fair, if you plant money in the Feywild, it might actually grow a money tree.
It's because the Feywild. I cannot understand.
Um,
I'm
just
just
You
saying,
don't understand fun.
it's not totally illogical, but that is a good point. That is this a gift economy, a barter economy? If there's persons from multiple planes, I would assume that there's some sort of universal mechanism of exchange.
Johann
We'll
looks
figure it out.
off
We'll be fine.
in Johann looks off in the distance, seemingly in a direction you can see, but there's nothing there.
Mm.
And he can't smirk. He doesn't have lips, but he kind of gives like a little like head tilt for a second. His eye socket, like turning his face more towards Thurston for a moment, at the slight like, you know, moment of panic of not having, the thing that fuels his, his being,
Existence.
his existence. Yeah. And he says, "Well, if you all end up making it to Nox Valar, you'll see."
Do you folks not make it sometimes?
It's more, you'll see.
It's not
This journey we have is a bit about introspection. If you come to terms, you'll see the city. You'll be able to get there.
And if we
I
don't?
accept that you said that I died. I just want to know how to reverse that. What do I need to be introspective about?
Well,
You were a necromancer, right? Surely you know.
no, I was Well, friends wasn't the right word. Business partners
Appropriate.
with a necromancer.
Hmm.
That's how I ended up with this pretty face.
I mean, given how we died, I don't think any of us are that surprised that we did die. The last thing I remember was, well, I thought I saw the matron, and apparently I ended up here.
And you may see her again. It's all just a matter of the journey.
Perhaps here is where you're supposed to be.
Here's where I am supposed to be. Here's where I am comfortable and okay with. For you all, it may be to your respective matrons and wild mothers or other such deities. Some of you, if you're fortunate enough and you're ready to go, it may be back to where you came from. That's really out of your control, unfortunately. At least it's out of my control.
Whose control is the doctor?
People that would bring you back, or, you know,
We had contingencies.
Did we tell your mother where we were going?
Oh, she's
Were
aware.
we smart / crazy /
We-
stupid enough to tell your mother where we were going?
Yeah.
She's deeply aware.
Sabelina should know us well enough by now after all these years.
You got nothing to worry about.
sounds like you won't be around for long then. The money might not be an issue.
She
Just
might
watch
Thurston
Thurston's face
specifically
at
make
that
sure.
comment.
She might specifically make sure to resurrect you, Thurston, just so she can kill you herself.
That's true. We'll wait here for
That
you.
does sound like your mother.
Hmm.
Oh gosh. No, because I feel like she would resurrect us just to kill us.
Sounds
don't
more
know,
like
she likes me.
Sabelina.
That sounds like your mother.
A great many things sound like my mother.
You all are talking as you continue walking.
Oh yeah.
For Johann suddenly stops moving and stops mid-sentence. His head swivels left to right and back again, and he says, "Shh, shh, shh." You are a rather talkative bunch. And he holds up a hand as he crouches to delicately wipe a bit of ash that's accumulated on the thistles of a nearby bush. He holds up his hand and watches the ash blow away. He looks in the direction where the wind that blew the ash came from and points. A powerful wind sweeps across the fields, kicking up an ocean of gray ash and any loose clothing that hangs from your bodies. The wind seems to shift its trajectory, curving left, and then left again, and again, until the wind is swirling around and around. More and more ash is sucked in, and the very shadows of foliage seem to stretch and contort, lending their blackness to the whirlwind. The ash and shadow mingle together, and a moment later, a raging tornado of darkness looms over the prairie. More pillars of swirling darkness can be seen forming across the prairie and across the fields. Johann turns back and shouts, "Run!" as the dark swirling whirlwinds begin to streak across the land in random directions at alarming speeds, some of which heading towards your direction. Johann takes off at a sprint, the fastest he's been moving this entire time in his normally leisurely pace, pointing with his staff towards a thicket of trees covered in red and gold flowers about a mile away. If any of you have the means to get us into those trees quicker, or possibly conjure some kind of shelter, now's the time to do it. He shouts over his shoulder as he proceeds.
Would stealth be helpful?
He shouts a run, and Dermot just says, kind of under his breath, "Oh yeah, we've proven we're so good at that lately."
As the whirlwind draws near, you can see countless ghastly faces swirling within the blackness, and the sounds of wailing moans mixes with the din of the roaring winds. And with that, we are going to take our mid-session break. we will come back to solutions and escapes. Give us 5 or
Or
so
more death.
minutes.
Yeah.
Tight 5.
Super death.
Tight 5.
As
and
we die again.
Tight 5.
Yes, as we transition.
Double die?
Double die.
Did you just
Double
is-
death.
Did they figure it out? Did they figure out the save point? You just go back to the beginning under the vortex? That's what it is.
Mm.
Yeah, is this the Matrix? If
It's
we
the
die
Wizard
here,
of
do
Oz.
we
It's
die in real
Oz.
life?
It's Oz, you guys. All
This
right.
is just like
Mm,
it's going
makes
into the
sense.
raid. You have to go to the little thing
Yeah.
before you go in the instance.
All right, I'm going to transition us over. We shall be back in about 5 or so minutes.
Yeah.
Hooray!
And we're back. Hello, friends. Internet.
Creeps are back.
Internet, you're back.
You're back.
Because we're
Um,
back.
It wasn't a Type 5, but when is it ever?
Has it?
We
I
had
think
the
it's
one.
actually been a Tight 5 like once.
Once.
We had that one
Mhm.
really.
Where we speed ran bio breaks.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also get to chatting, and that doesn't help.
We do get to chatting. We do.
But it's just because you're wonderful people who are fun
Yeah.
to chat with.
That means it's going
I
to be a
mean,
good
we
game.
are the best.
It is.
It's true.
Hooray!
All right, friends.
Yeah.
Johann, your Ashen Shepherd, as his title says, has been guiding you through the Ashen Fields. And while you've been just talking, asking questions, bantering with one another, he has stopped, and as he warns you all of something appearing, nearby, a tornado has grown and is whirling ash and debris, but also shadows and the wailing moans of these ghastly faces swirling within the blackness. And it's not just this tornado. It is multiple spires peering and connecting the sky to the ground, almost spawning from the vortex, the greater, much larger vortex in the sky above. What would you all like to do? I will say, to keep it easy, let's roll some initiative, just so that we can kind of keep things in an order.
Is talking a free action?
Yeah, I say talking
So
is
I
a
have-
free action.
I had one question for Johan
Sure.
as we started to sprint away. And my question was just, would stealth help?
He's starting to run towards that set of trees,
Mm-hmm.
into that thicket about a mile away, he looks over at you and says, "Probably not,"
No.
and continues running. So we'll do. All right, Dermot.
Dermot.
Oh.
26.
Oh, I should roll.
And I'm gonna keep that initiative. I'm not gonna trade it with anybody.
Oh
Because the last time I tried to help, it got me killed
Gad.
immediately.
23.
Moose.
I got a nat 20 again. So
Nice.
22. Oh, wait, I have advantage. Oh, wait, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
We all have advantage on initiative. Just FYI, if
Oh,
we
we
are
do?
together, you all have advantage on initiative.
Sweet.
Oh, in that case,
That was worse.
Natural 20,
That was
24.
terrible.
Moose, what is your total? You said 22.
22, yeah.
Arthea.
31.
Fucking
Hell
Jesus.
yeah.
What did you
Did
roll?
you say
I rolled a
31?
19.
Holy
I rolled a
shit.
19 and I have a plus 12.
How do you have a
Shit.
plus 12?
Oh, the alert feat.
I have alert, and
Fuck.
Connor just adds its int to initiative.
Oh, because you
'Cause I have
see
always-
all.
You
see
beast.
everything.
I react very quickly to things.
Yeah, I love
That
how we
is-
all
That's how
just
you know how to
so
change
cool.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You
Listen,
see,
I'm happy with my +4. Okay, like
yeah. This is
shit.
Doctor Strange over here. Can see all the possibilities.
Yeah.
30 fucking one.
I've seen 6
Jesus.
million possible futures, and you're a
Mhm.
dumbass in all of them.
Yeah.
Thurston.
I don't want to say it.
I gave you advantage. I'm doing
Is
all I
it
can.
is it in the teens? Is it single digits?
Somebody has to
It's
be
an
the caboose.
11. It's a preteen.
It's a preteen. Okay, that's fine.
It's a middle schooler.
Arathea got
Sorry.
20 points higher.
Why
Jesus.
didn't you want to say it?
Holy
A full
fuck.
D20 higher.
Uh,
That's hysterical.
anybody watching?
Her bonus to initiative
Dude,
is
it's
higher than what I rolled.
She could have got a
And I
nat
rolled a
1 and
10.
And you rolled.
I did
You
what-
rolled
I ro-
decent.
I rolled
Yes.
with advantage, and I did get a nat 1. On the
She
second
still
roll.
would have beat you.
You still won.
Yes.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Anybody who is watching, the players are at level 16 as the game suggests a tier 4 group. So you will see some baddie rolls, especially here on Wednesday Night Dice, because we typically top out at about, I think this group was 12.
We were 12 here.
In Skytown we
Um,
hit like 7 or 8, I think.
We were 8 and 8 at Skytown.
Yeah. So you've seen like slow progressions. We jumped levels and are now at 16. So it's tier 4 shit. So if I seem astounded by some rolls, I don't see that shit a whole lot. We typically start at 3 or
We're
5.
adjusting to
Yeah.
being gods.
Yeah.
Or if we're
Yeah.
feeling like a real party, 6.
Or real yeah. We're feeling real, powerful. Or unless it's
Mm.
extra life.
Oh yeah, that's
That doesn't count.
That's for the kids,
Oh
though.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for the kids. All right. Arathea, you are up first. What are you doing with trying to get everybody either some shelter or get yourself closer to, you're about a mile away, which as a reminder, you know what? Fuck it. Anybody you can tell me without Googling, motherfuckers.
5,280 feet.
That's it.
Yeah.
Moose gets advantage on his next roll. Take inspiration.
Woo! Autistic pattern recognition.
Damn.
I was gonna say that was a very Tism answer, and like just the response in general.
No.
Mm.
Oh, it gets better because do you know why I remember that?
Why?
Because there's a stupid phonetic that somebody told
Sure
me
there
at one
is.
point, and it never left my head, and I hate it so much. And it was people making fun of American units,
Mhm.
and it was like tomato was like the numeric 5 tomato 5280, and I was like,
Yeah, it's
what?
5
Why does that
tomatoes.
make sense? And now it won't
Mm.
ever leave
See,
my
now
brain.
I'll never forget that. Now I'll never forget it. So yes, you have 5 tomatoes.
I had
Yeah,
5 tomatoes.
5
The
tomatoes.
only reason I remember the quadratic formula is because that stupid
The
song that they
song.
would teach you.
Ah! My brain.
Anyway,
As we begin our mad dash away from the storm of shadow and ash and wailing, obviously Johann is heading off in a particular direction toward, a forest.
Yes.
How far can we see, given the current weather situation?
That's fair. So it is not dark, whereas to the point of like Dermot's been able to see just fine.
Yeah.
I will say that your vision is probably obscured to a point, but I would probably have you roll like a perception check, just to see if a tornado is crossing your path or the ash that is blowing around affects anything?
That's mainly is I do want to teleport us because that is a wide distance, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to get us all the way to that grove of trees. I just
Sure.
don't I feel like that's far enough away that with everything going on, I wouldn't be able to see it well enough to be
It
familiar enough with it to get us there. And if I'm not familiar with it, that has very bad ramifications in a place where I have no idea where anything is.
I think that's definitely fair, especially when you think about now you are on planes, so it
I'm on
is,
planes.
but A, you're not familiar. If you've ever tried to actually look at something that's like a mile away straight to you,
Yeah.
it's still
The
pretty
horizon
far.
gets wonky.
I think that's totally fair. If you want to aim for like,
I want to aim for a point that puts us, say, put us a distance, I don't know, maybe about half the
yeah,
distance. Try to close the distance so that we can then hopefully run quickly and or I know that my friends also have many abilities to kind of take us in short jumps.
sure. Okay. I will say go ahead and roll me is it a roll or is it an automatic success? It's something that is in vision.
Let's see. So
I know
in
that the
vision is going to be
because I may have you roll a
it's
perception
a roll.
check.
No,
It's a roll.
it's a roll.
All
It's
right.
a roll
Go ahead
for
and
because it would be considered very familiar if it's a place I can see.
okay, go ahead and make that roll. Make that roll and make a perception check and then make that roll.
Perception check can be to see how far
Yeah, let's see
I
how
can
far you
get it.
get.
Basically, I'm going as far as I can see clearly, whatever that distance might be.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead and roll your perception check.
Perception is Miss Jackson.
Lovely. Okay.
And percentile. I don't use these dice a lot. All right. Okay, it's a 75% chance we get somewhat close.
Okay.
We're doing okay. Okay, we did okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. I rolled a 90.
Hey.
We're okay.
Perfect.
I looked at the chart and I was like, uh-oh, this one's got stuff in all the columns. I've only used this when I don't have stuff in the other columns.
I love the teleportation spell. It can throw so much shit out of whack. It's so fun.
I was just like, I looked at it and I thought if you could see it, it was one of the ones that was kind of automatic, and it's totally not. It's you could see it, but you still fuck it up.
Yep.
There's still a 25% chance that you end up someplace that's like,
You're literally in the tree.
Yeah, you could be in the tree. You could also end up in an area that looks similar, but everything here looks similar.
Yep.
That one scared me a little. That scares me a little.
All right. So yeah,
I can take up to 8 people though, so
Perfect.
it is enough to grab all of us and get us as far as I can see with a dirty 20.
I will say with the dirty 20, you can't quite see halfway,
Mm.
but you are able, let's say like 40%.
Okay.
So yeah, probably closer to like 3,000 feet away. You've definitely cut off quite a bit of bit of distance. You all feel as like the air and the just like the just matter around you kind of just condenses and wraps around you like a cocoon, and then you like everything goes dark for a second, but before you can even comprehend why, this craziness and this chaos in front of you reappears, and you find yourself stumbling a bit to catch yourselves as you continue running. And you look back and you see that there is no path of you all running through the ash. It is just brand new path, and you are here, and you seemingly probably almost halfway closer to that copse of trees. And Johan kind of gives out like a big whoop, and continues kind of running. Anything else you would like to do, Arthur?
Again.
No. I use the rest of my everything to do the run.
All right.
which is a lot slower.
Yes. All right. Then Dermot.
Okay. Arathea, how far do you get away from the rest of the group running?
I would only get 30 feet because my bonus action does not do shit.
Okay.
Yeah, just your movement.
Just my movement. I can't Misty Steps as bonus action while teleporting. So
Okay.
Go, but you good.
In that
be pretty
case, Faraday,
Yes.
Thurston, Arathea, and Cad. I am going to use one of my bardic inspirations to do Mantle of Inspiration. The four of you gain some temporary hit points.
Love it.
is it weird that I feel better than I did before we came here?
So the four of you each get 6 temporary hit points and can immediately use reaction to move your full speed without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Cool.
Nice.
Moose is going to stay next to Thurston.
Okay.
We can we're all using our reactions to move. Is that what you
No,
said?
only those 4.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I misunderstood.
But I feel like Moose would still be
Yeah,
next to
so
Thurston.
pretty much it's
Yeah.
everybody but Dermot and Moose can immediately use their reaction to move their full speed, and then Dermot is gonna make a break for it on his own, movement and his action to dash, and I am going to cover a total of 70 feet.
Fuck's
Because
sake.
my
Used to be
movement
35.
is 35. I have little clip cloppy hooves, but they're quick.
All right.
Quick quappy hooves.
Clip
Cool.
cloppy hooves.
Cad.
Okay, so I'll use my reaction to move 30 feet.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna use my action, bonus action, and movement to move 90 feet.
Got it. The true rogue
So-
way.
Yeah, so that's 120 total.
20 feet. Cool. You
I
definitely.
forgot you were a rogue that can bonus action dash.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna need you guys to not get like split up.
Cad peels out in front of the rest of the group. And then an extra 90 feet ahead of everyone else, ahead of the front of the pack. And Moose, who is 30 feet back from Moose and Johan are together at this point, and Moose, it is your turn.
Sorry, I was muted. So how far away are other people? So about 30 feet, roughly?
30 feet, except for Cad, who is 90.
Okay.
And me, who is 70
Cad is
feet.
actually... So from you, Cad is 120 feet.
I have 120.
That's right.
Thank you.
So the
I'm writing it all down.
Oh, thank God.
Johan's the only one right next
My
to me.
math person is writing it down because I am
I
not.
just need like a number line, you know.
Yeah,
like,
so
move us
between
along the line.
from you and Johan to Cad is 120 feet, and that is the current distance drop.
Okay, and that's the
Thank you,
farthest
Rhodes.
person.
Yes.
Okay. Who, in
Theater
general,
of the
who is
mind
the
plus math.
slowest person in our party? If we're just gonna run the rest of the 2,560 feet, 660 feet. If we're just gonna run the rest of it, who are we worried about? That also is
You guys would know.
Probably Faraday.
Faraday's at 35
okay.
and
Yeah,
can
but
and
do
can
you
face
have?
step.
Okay.
I would
All right.
worry more about no
Johan,
offense,
I can do
Thurston than
I can do this in
Arthea, because
unlimited.
I
Arthea
mean-
can.
Every time I move, somebody else gets to move as a
Well, I
reaction.
can also tell.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
more
gonna.
thinking Thurston doesn't usually wear practical shoes.
I just.
Wow. Correct, but you didn't have to say it.
I pat Johan on the back and we're like, halfway there, and
Mm-hmm.
run. And I'm going to use my action to dash. Pike
Okay.
of the Parents to let him dash as use his reaction to dash, and then
Perfect.
going to catch up to whoever's
That'd
like
be 60.
trailing behind.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm not.
You would catch up to
Sorry.
the rest of the pack except for
Yeah.
Cad and maybe
Mhm.
Dermot.
So whoever's the first person I run into, which I guess it sounds like would be either Arethea or Thurston.
Yeah.
Whoever the first person I run up to is like, time to move, and I bonus action Misty Step and take them with me another 90 feet. And
I'll let-
then use my 60 feet or my other 30 or 40 feet of movement to continue moving. So at that point, just slightly ahead of Cad. Like, come on, catch up!
Okay, you lost me. You moved 60 feet, and then you're
moved-
misty stepping.
I moved 30, then grabbed somebody and Misty Stepped, then moved another 30.
I thought you used your reaction. You did something else that allowed you and Johan to move.
I used my action to dash. I used my dash before I used my movement because that's how Pike
Gotcha.
works. So, 150 feet.
Fuck it, we'll do rollies for Arthea and Thurston. Roll d20s, unless it doesn't matter. Unless somebody decides that they really.
I mean, you only have short distance and very long distance, correct?
Yeah, he's just trying to keep everyone in sight so that when it's his turn, he can do the same thing. And that's why he's like, please don't go. I have to see you.
you gotta stay
That then-
within.
Hearing that, then Misty steps with Thurston, so that
Yeah.
Thurston is like in the middle of
In the middle of
everybody,
everybody.
just behind
Okay.
Cad, just in front of all the other people.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I also have mid-range stuff, so if I need to, I can always get myself moving.
Sounds good. All right, Thurston, you are back up in the middle of the pack. And I think that's everything for
What
Moose.
did you say your misty step is?
Misty Step should be 30, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is it 30? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
it's
was confusing it. Sorry, so
okay,
90
I thought
feet.
you
So I'm
had
just
like a cool
behind
thing.
Cad.
That's why I was like, what the fuck? What kind of cool version do you have?
No, I can take people with me. That's my cool version. Oh, I was confusing it with my boots. My boots give me a 90-foot movement speed.
Yeah, your lightning boots.
And I didn't activate those yet.
Yet.
So just behind Cad. I brought Thurston.
All right.
I'm done after that.
Johan is with the rest of you. He is just gonna, with everybody else, he's gonna dash and move. He doesn't have anything special. You hear bones kind of rattling like against each other, and it kind of sounds like a rain stick or like a bag of like dried beans. So I say a bag of bones, but that seems kind of on the nose. So
Yeah.
it actually no though. It reminds you of bones. Those that know bones are reminded of your skeleton friend back in Tal'Dorei.
Starting to sound like bamboo wind chimes.
Yeah, there it is. That's better. That's
We
better.
have. I think I might know your descendant. May have gotten involved with same necromancer, actually. Unclear.
Unclear, possibly.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that.
Circle back around.
Faraday will do similar to Cad. She's got 35 speed. She will dash, move, and then face step is 30, so it'll be a total of 100 feet. And she will try and get as far as possible that she can. Unfortunately, she cannot take people with her because they're fancy. She's not spring, so she can't unfortunately swap somebody. At this point, you all are getting into this kind of crosswinds, and those that have hair, it is being like just tossed about and knotted and and just kind of like caught and everything across your face. Those that have fur or feathers can feel like the wind just like shifting things and like just really pushing things. Moose has got like a bit of like a hot, like a half
Floof.
pot, yeah, like a poof.
The angry
Um,
floof.
and I need everybody, yeah, we'll say everybody, to make me dexterity saving throws, please.
Oh,
No.
why'd you pick that one?
Seriously.
You all get +2? No, wait, never mind. We're not that close.
You're not that close.
Yeah, we're
Anyone
not
who's
that
that close to me, which I guess would just be
Thurston.
Thurston? No, because I
Nope,
left Thurston in
Thurston.
the dust.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I get +2.
You get +2.
That was a roller coaster.
I'm sorry. I was trying to help. I'm less helpful if you're not all standing on top of me.
Thurston.
I still don't want to say it.
God damn.
Come on.
Did
4.
Oh, buddy. Okay.
Oh,
Arthea.
12.
You're in practical
Okay.
shoes.
Moose.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Do I need to ask for CAD? Can you roll
20
lower than a 20?
It's a 29.
Fuck's sake.
Jeez.
Rolled a 19. Have a +10.
Yep. Dermot.
18.
All right, and Faraday rolled a nat 20 for a 33.
Nice.
If my math is correct, that is 5 nat 20s
is.
just tonight.
Dang.
Keep it
That's
up.
correct. I am keeping track, and we've had 3 Miss Jacksons.
Love it. All right, anybody who rolled less than a 17, you are just buffeted by the winds and you lose your footing and you are knocked prone.
It tracks.
Anybody who rolled less than a 7, which I believe is just
Uh-oh.
Thurston.
Oh, there wasn't supposed to be a second part to this. Okay.
Yeah. Thurston, you get caught up as you get picked up by Moose and teleported. And then Moose leaves you in the dust, and you are kind of in that, like, you're kind of alone for a second in this grouping, and one of the tornadoes comes close enough to you and picks you up.
Oh, shit.
And you are swept off of your feet and into the air.
How high in the air?
What is it? Start of your next turn. 20 feet.
Okay.
20 feet.
Moose just looks back and sees this. I assume sees this 24 passive perception. Yeah. It's just, I got it.
Yes.
Don't worry, Thurston. I got it.
Otherwise, anybody under a 17, so that is Johan, unfortunately, Arthea. Is that it?
That's it.
Go prone.
Yep.
And then give me one moment.
I have face planted in the ash. I am tasting the ash despite being told not to.
And then Thurston, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
As you are sucked
Gonna roll
into
that
the
anyway.
tornado.
Oh baby.
breeze.
Oh baby.
Is this on top of the one I should roll for his fear of heights as well?
Oh! Uh, go ahead. Ooh, I kind of want you to roll with disadvantage because he is afraid of
Oh, God.
heights.
And that's
That's
what
what
I
Really,
would
it's
do.
Thurston from us.
That is a
like,
phobia he developed from
Yeah.
almost dying multiple times from heights during
Yeah,
that campaign.
with the effect that is happening within this tornado, I do need you to roll at disadvantage.
Oh no.
Cool.
Thurston, you're too powerful for me.
That's a 6.
When you are sucked up into this vortex, the ash clouds your face. You can feel it like it's the worst because you just feel grimy. Like you feel like you rolled around in a fireplace.
And Thurston shits his pants.
Yeah. And as you are thrown up, and it's like this, it's just this. You are tumbled, and it is such a strong wind, and your cloak and your clothes, which are typically very just like I'm not gonna say flamboyant, but just very regal, just fly around you. You don't have a whole lot of weight or just anything. And as you get sucked into this vortex, you see the shadows that are matching this ash. And you see and you hear not just through, like, you hear the roaring of a tornado. If anybody has heard a tornado, it sounds like basically a freight train coming at you.
Yeah, it
And
kind of sucks.
you hear
Mhm.
that, but on the tail end of it, instead of that just like constant roar, it's this inclination of just this wailing. And it almost feels like it's an illusion, but you know that it just sounds so real. And you feel like not only the heights and the just that panic of not having your feet on the ground, but this swirling ash and these pained faces of black shadow that kind of come out and just like careen around you. Just you hear these voices kind of in your head just echoing just any it's not words, it's more feeling, but then it's words of just um listing your regrets, listing your failures. You can hear it in your brain, and it's just like this overwhelming, consuming feeling of despair as you are tumbling through, and almost like when you are dropped in the ocean and can't find your way up. It's like this, where he is suddenly just ass over tea kettle, just consumed by this noise and this just utter feeling of being lost in these emotions. You will have disadvantage on your next roll. And since it is your turn, I would like you to roll a d6, please.
1.
Interesting, buddy.
Look on Sam's face.
Is that a
I
natural
needed you to
one?
not roll
All
a
right, well, it was
one.
nice playing
It was
this
not a
character
one.
for like a second.
Rhodes, was that a natural one?
Yeah.
It was a d6.
It was a D6.
It was a d6.
It was a D6,
Oh.
Straight
so.
6. Thurston is brought higher into the air.
Oh,
So another 10
still,
feet.
still, oh god, still coming, still gotcha.
But I will say,
Moose-
I will give.
Moose, I have an idea too. If you don't got this,
Out of character, my boots, I can just, with no action at all, just as part of my movement, I can give myself a 90-foot fly speed. So,
okay,
Um,
very similar to what my idea was.
Thurston, I will allow you to do your turn. Depending on what you would like to do, we will determine any penalties or thus.
I know I'm like ass over tea kettle. Can I roll, I don't know, perception, something? He wants to orient himself so he can just misty step the fuck back to the ground.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll. So that disadvantage was on your next roll. So go ahead and roll perception with disadvantage.
Who seems like they're not an a-hole? You know what? We're gonna try something over here. I said not an a-hole, not natural one.
Oh,
my
no.
That's an 8.
Yeah, unfortunately, he can't quite seem to
Oh wait,
get.
wait.
Oh, you
Wait.
have a thing.
He can do. There's stuff. He does stuff.
He
Yes,
does
I'm gonna
stuff.
balance that out. Fuck that. That's my thing.
All right.
Yeah.
What is that? What is the balance? You get to reroll.
I can negate either an advantage or disadvantage. So if you want me to reroll the whole thing, I can do that. Didn't just start over.
Did you roll? Do you know what your other roll was with the disadvantage?
It was a 19 on the die, so it would have been 26.
Let's keep that. That's fine.
Okay.
We will say that. Yeah, we'll just keep that as your roll.
Okay.
Yeah, with a 26, you are able to you're still feeling that like emotional like discombobulation and those voices, but you are able to right yourself to at least the point to being able to see where ground is and Misty Step.
Oh, actually, wait. Can I do that?
Can you do that?
Because it takes my reaction.
Did you use your reaction?
Why am I blanking
to
on when to
run?
react? I used my reaction when Dermot did his thing.
Reactions
does it
reset
on your turn.
on your
At
turn.
my turn, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect. Okay, that's what my brain was like. Wait a minute, it's too good to be true.
Yep. You're good. You're good.
Okay. So yes, he does do that, and then he is going to Misty Step to the fucking ground. God damn it.
Perfect.
Which means, sorry guys, he's not gonna be able to teleport us. One more again. So he'll just, what's that? Reaction, bonus action to Misty Step, and then run 30 feet.
Okay.
Sorry guys, we're gonna have a long way to go.
All right. Arthea, top of the round.
Okay. How many people can I move? 1, 2. I really don't want to use that. Who's the closest to me? If assuming that I did my reaction previously to go 30 feet and I have another 30 feet of movement this round. Can I get to anyone from there?
Oh god, I've totally lost where you are.
Maybe Moose and Faraday?
I definitely can't get close to Cad or Dermot because they're up ahead.
Yeah, probably Moose are there. Probably maybe Johann Faraday. I would say Johann Faraday or Moose.
Okay.
I thought Moose was at the very front. Like he left everybody behind.
Yeah,
No,
Moose
no,
gets far.
Yeah, I forgot. I did 90 feet of Misty Step. It's only 30 feet. That was my bad.
Oh.
So I am middle of the pack.
And then Thurston is still. You haven't lost too much ground, Thurston. And you did your movement and stuff like that. So Thurston's probably further, but yeah, Arthie, if you're more in the middle of the pack, I would say Moose, Faraday, or Johan.
And how far are we from these trees?
2,500? About halfway.
25
half mile.
feet. That's so many feet.
It's so many feet. Isn't this great?
Why are there so many feet in a mile? That's such bullshit, guys.
Because you're level
Who came
16.
Came
up with this system.
Came up with this system. This is some fey shit.
Yeah. Whose idea was this?
Yeah, they use the metric system in Tal'Dorei.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Fae are the only ones who use that fucking system.
They would. They would use Imperial.
They absolutely would. All right, then.
Honestly, I bet Mercer has his own measuring
100%
way of measuring.
Mercer
He built
has
his own calendar.
yeah.
He's got his own inches and feet or whatever. Come on.
100%.
All right. Then I will grab Faraday.
Okay.
Because Moose I've seen Moose the Goose run.
Yeah.
Moose can go about it almost as far as I can dimension door on his feet.
He's a fast fucking goose.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Hey, gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Like frighteningly fast. So if Faraday is the closest,
yeah, Faraday
then,
or Johan.
Yeah, I can only take one of them though.
I mean, that's fair. That
And
makes sense to grab her.
yeah, on the one hand, it's like on the one hand, he's probably, useful to have and stuff. On the other hand, he's been here for a while. I'm sure he can navigate this. And I will
So you stand up.
stand up, get to Faraday.
Yep.
And then do I have enough to do that since I was prone?
You would have
Would I
been.
actually have it? If not, I'll just Misty Step.
I would say you can, because that would be 45 feet. Well, it'd be half your movement, it'd be 15.
Yeah, another 15.
And then if you were going to dash, it would be 30 to get.
I can't dash.
Can't dash. Well, you can dash as your action.
I could, but I could also.
But you could also do
other
something other
if-
things.
Yeah.
I don't know where you are. I've lost track.
we don't know where we are.
I feel like that.
I feel like that's close.
If it's close enough to literally grab someone and tell them to keep the arms and hands inside the ride at all times, then I will do that and grab them, and
Fuck
we will
it.
dimension door 500 feet.
Okay. Sure. No problem. Let's just say fuck
Anyone
it. Why
except
not?
Moose, because
Yeah.
Moose is also going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
I figure
Alright.
there's enough people who can do such things and move in such ways that we can
Yep.
get that.
All right. So you and Faraday end up probably about, so it's 500 feet.
Like 400 feet in front of Cad.
Yeah, about 400 feet in front of Cad. And I would say probably about 500-ish from Thurston
Yeah.
at this point.
But if Thurston needs to teleport others ahead, that's also okay.
Okay. All right.
Writing that down.
Dermot.
Whew.
Okay. I have a series of questions.
Okay. Don't make them too difficult.
They're
Hey,
not
you're the one that
difficult.
introduced math, so
Yeah. They're not difficult, but they are loaded.
Okay.
I cast a spell with a range, and it says the target is a creature I can see within range.
Uh-huh.
Range is 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see myself, and am I within 60 feet of myself?
Yes.
Okay.
This is gonna bite me in the ass, but yes.
I
mean,
would like
that
to
is-
polymorph myself
goals,
into a giant eagle.
Yeah.
Perfect. Love it.
Jesus.
Okay. You're now a giant eagle.
I am a giant
The
eagle.
action.
How far away from me is Thurston?
Backwards.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you'd have to backtrack.
That's fine. I can do that.
30? 45?
Probably, yeah, in that range.
30
Cool.
to 45?
My fly speed is 80.
Love it. So you go, you pick him up, and you come back?
Yeah. I grab Thurston and I start making my way back.
Okay. I think that's fair that you would get you I would say
You're
you
gonna
would get
pick the boy back in the air?
Gotta fly
Let it
low.
grow. Fly low.
Yeah.
It's just Thurston's feet. Just
Thurston is the
Off
you-
the
I love him
ground.
so much for all the terror you put him through.
I think it's hilarious because you know that there was no conversation before this. A giant bird just picked you up.
Oh,
And it probably
it
hasn't been the
is-
first time.
It is an important distinction that the song that I play to cast this spell is Steve Miller Band's Fly Like an Eagle.
Of course it is. Of course
This
it
is
is.
payback
That's-
for when he had to like lightning lure him to safety.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So yeah. I mean, yeah, and I do fly low.
Okay. I'll say you get
I-
you get back towards the middle of the pack. Now the middle of the pack is the end of the pack. Which
Okay.
has
I need to be right back real quick to make a phone call, but
You're
I'm
good.
just gonna do my
Do your
mag
usual-
feed again.
cool.
Yeah.
No problem.
Run some more, and then run again.
So we've got all right. So at the end of that, we have Arathia and Faraday in the front, about 400 feet ahead of almost everybody else except middle of the pack is now Moose and Cad. And then about whatever distance behind is Thurston, Dermot, and Johan.
Mhm.
Cad moves her 90. And it is Moose. Moose the Goose.
Moose the Goose. So back of the pack is Dermot carrying Thurston,
Yep.
and Johan is
And
back there as
Johan.
well.
Yep, Johan's back there too.
There's definitely hesitation with Moose. I don't know this guy. He's Bones. He'll probably be fine, right? No. Okay, fine. Probably should. Moose is gonna just sigh, use action to dash,
Okay.
and point at Thurston and be like, "Fly!" So you get to dash as a bonus, or not Thurston, sorry, Dermot. Dermot, you get to dash as a reaction. Run back, grab Johan. I'm going to use my boots with my movement, so I get 90-foot move speed this turn.
Cool.
So I'll use 30 feet, run back to grab Johan. Misty Step, bonus action. Sorry, too many things to keep track of in my head. Misty Step, bonus action, give him some distance, and then is he light enough that I'd be able to carry him? I have 18 strength, 16 strength. Sorry,
Roll me an athletics check.
I have expertise in that. So plus 14. Oh, cocked. Try it again. So I only rolled a 7, so 21.
Only, yeah, that's fine. You can carry the you can carry the poor skeleton.
I just like as fast as I can. Can I carry you?
Yes.
And then like without quite waiting for the answer, just pick him up and and I've got the lightning boots going. So action to dash and movement. It took me 30 feet, I assume, or like ish to get back.
Yeah, so we'll say going forward would be the 60 plus the Misty Step would be 90. You have 60 feet left of the lightning boots.
Yeah, let me skip the Misty Step because if I'm just
Okay.
going to use 90, so 30 back, then 30, so that's cancels out 60. That still gives me 120 feet to move. So I'll just use the 120 feet to move, and then I'm going to use my bonus action to cast nature, or to use Nature's Veil, which is one of my class features that lets me I get the invisible condition until the end of my next turn. So you just see Johan floating in the air, lightning on the ground underneath him, just
Sounds good. And you're kind of about where you were. You'd be like, what, like 30 feet ahead of where you were originally?
Well, I'd be 30 feet ahead, and then I can use my regular movement still to move another 90 feet. So I'd be about 120 feet ahead of where I started.
Okay. How do you use
I use my action to dash,
right?
and that's Pike lets me give Dermot his dash as a reaction.
Oh, yeah.
And that's 90 feet. So 90 feet minus 60, 30 feet back, 30 feet up.
Oh, because you can dash with the boots and then...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, I got
it. And the boots give you a 90 foot speed for the turn.
Got it. I'm remembering the boots as they were originally. They were old.
Yeah.
The old way they were. Okay, cool. I got it. We're good.
So it's just me and Dermot and just invisible next to Dermot with I'm carrying Johan.
Yeah.
He's got Thurston.
Got it. Love it. Okay. Johan's just gonna go along for the ride.
I will happily set him down if he wants.
Nope.
But I just like distance. We needed to put some distance here.
He's good. He's like, to the trees, to the trees, to the trees. Faraday is going to she's gonna hold her action. And she will dash with Arthea. She doesn't want to leave Arthea behind. She doesn't want to get too far ahead of everybody, because that's gonna add another, like, she'll be like a full 500 feet. And everyone's getting a little too far away for her liking. So she'll hold her action until your turn, Arthea. And then use that dash. With that in mind, I will ask everybody to make dexterity saving throws again. Please.
Do I
Love it.
make it being carried like a sack of potatoes?
I will
No.
say no. You can forego it because you really can't do anything.
But I don't fuck this up, Dustin.
Um,
Well, I got
I-
bad news.
If
He
you
I am
would-
right
only
next-
gets a +3.
you know what?
I'm close to you, so take another +2, maybe.
Mm?
Yeah, sure.
Am I close to anybody? Just sorry, I had to step away. I needed to comment.
You are not really. You're kind of in the middle at this
That's
point.
fine. I rolled a 22.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Rhodes, go to make me a perception check.
Hmm.
22.
I'll take it. Dustin, roll with advantage.
Oh, thank God.
I will say that the perception check you are keeping an eye out for everything and making sure that you either just get barely clipped by this tornado this next round, or at least like can avoid the like heart of this tornado.
Give him a new phobia now. He's afraid of tornadoes. Cool.
You know, what bro,
Well, the second
Fair.
one was a natural one.
buddy. What was the first one?
10 total.
Cad passed Moose. What did you roll? Your dex saving throw.
14.
Okay. 14. Arthea,
15.
15. And Thurston didn't roll. Well, I guess Johan wouldn't roll. Second. Same rules will apply since you're carrying Johan. Moose, go ahead and roll with advantage. Or
Okay.
go ahead and roll second time.
The second one was a 19
Lovely.
flat plus
Whatever.
9, so
Shit.
28.
Okay. Anybody under a 17 will go prone. So the eagle goes tumbling.
It's a good thing I was flying low.
Yes, you were flying low, so you're not going to take any damage. But you do get kind of put to a stop. You kind of go tumbling. Arthea, that also includes you.
Yep, that's me.
Nobody rolled low enough to get picked up by the tornado. So we will move to Thurston. Your turn. I would say y'all have about quarter of a mile at this point.
The problem is I can't see everybody now.
No. Arthea and Faraday
Because-
are pretty far away.
Because like a reasonable person can see about 500 feet ahead, so like that's the problem. But the problem is that Moose is invisible.
That's true. I
Moose is
panicked.
invisible.
I'm sorry.
If
If you take everybody else, you know that Moose can dimension door. Like Moose moves.
if you want to roll a perception check, is it 60 feet, 30 feet for teleport?
It's instantly teleports you and up to 8 willing creatures of your choice that you can see
That you can
within
see.
range. Oh no, it's 10 feet.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
explicit.
10 feet. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Dermot.
Yeah.
Dermot screeches at you.
You too, Dermot. You too, buddy. How close? Even though I've been writing it down, I mentally have also lost track of it. So Faraday and
Arthea are about 400 feet
Arthea
from
are
you.
like hella far away.
Hella far. Like 400 feet.
Johan, who's being carried by presumably Moose,
Yep.
are close-ish,
Yep.
right?
Mhm. They're like, I would say presumably about 10, 15 feet from you. It's you and Dermot, and those two are the back of the pack. And Cad is the middle of the
Okay.
pack at this point.
Gotcha. So presumably I could get within range to move Johann, Durbin, and myself. Okay. What if I know Moose is there? Like,
Mhm.
this is my argument. Like, I clearly know he's there because he's holding Johann.
Yeah,
So
Johann's just
what
floating.
if I like, yeah, like, logically, what if I go up to him? If I can't see him, but I touch him, would you allow me to still teleport him as well?
Yeah, I'd let you do it.
Okay.
It makes no. You know
Okay.
that he's
So then I
there.
will use.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just can't use the visual to do it. I just need physical contact or something to like
That's fine.
collect
Mm-hmm.
the people. Okay. Then I will use part of my move 15 feet to stand up and then move stand in the middle of this pack. They're all within 10 to
Mhm.
15 feet of me. So
Yep.
I'll use my other 15 feet to be in the middle of these schmucks. And I'm going to teleport us back of the pack
The
people.
boys.
Yeah. Pretty much the boys.
The boys and then them.
Yeah. Ideally to the tree line now, since it's probably a reasonable distance of about 2,000 feet or so.
Yeah. It's definitely, I think it's about the same distance that Arthea originally teleported you all in. So whatever that is, that a rollable thing on that table? Like the percentile?
It depends on what you want to. Yeah, would you call that now, like, because I can see that range? Like very familiar. So I think that's what Arthea used.
That's what I
Like,
rolled
I'm
it
Yeah.
as.
picking that point
Go
that
ahead
I
and
can
use-
clearly see.
Yeah, go ahead and use that same kind of logic. That's fine. Because you
I
can
think that's how the spell like lays it
Lays
out.
it out.
If you're teleporting to a place you can see, but you haven't already been, it's considered
Considered
very familiar.
perfect. Cool. Do it.
Okay.
I know that roll's really nerve wracking.
All good. All good.
Okay.
59.
Oh, good.
59.
I was
And
trying.
the range is 25 to 100. So yeah.
I was racking my brain, being like, "Fuck, what if they vanish?"
This
But
campaign
you
is
accidentally revivify yourself. Congratulations.
Well, it's been nice. Back to Skytown.
you have
Like,
won the
fuck.
D&D. You've won the
I'm
D&D.
not prepared to
Skytown.
go back to Skytown.
Exactly.
No, you just end up somewhere else in the
All right,
Sunless
so-
Crossing. It'd be great.
Great. All right. So that's
We already split
movement.
the party.
Section.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's your
And
movement.
you guys
Sorry.
wonder why we died.
Action. Do you have a bonus action you want to do? As everybody, the four of you feel that again familiar like sucking feeling of like being constricted, and then immediate pop, and suddenly you are within just within the shelter of the trees. The trees are kind of like blowing back and
Mhm.
forth, leaves are falling. It's this like red and gold flowers and just this very pretty tree line. You're just within it that you're able to grab a tree and kind of like bear down on it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all he can do at this point. But he's gonna like keep eyes on the ladies.
Perfect.
As much as he
Johann's
can.
just floating in the air, and you just Moose. You just see Johann shake and rattle, and Moose yelling, "Now what?" Just invisibly floating and rattling.
Now he waits. Everybody else has to get here.
Thank you, Thurston. Now what?
Okay. Top of the round. Ladies. Arthea.
Ladies. All right. So I'm gonna use half of my movement to stand.
Yes.
And then let's see. So it's just me, you, Faraday. Me, Faraday, Cad.
Faraday,
How far are
Cat,
you?
Arthea.
How far are you, Cad?
I moved 90 feet and then I moved another 90 feet.
Probably like 3 from you at this point ish, right, Rhodes? Like
Yeah, you guys were hella far ahead.
they were about
so
400 from her
the-
originally, I think.
No, they're 400 from
Yeah.
Cat originally, so she
another
would
about
have made
300.
90,
So 310.
300,
She only-
300, 310.
Yeah. Yeah.
300, 310. Okay. Then, and you can move another 90, you said, Cat?
hmm
Puts you at 200. I don't like you being out there by yourself, but that's just gonna be unfortunate because I don't have shit that works at that range. So I'm going to cast Arcane Gate. I am going to use Meta Magic distance spell to double the range of it, which is
Okay.
500 feet.
Yeah.
So it'll be 1,000-foot pair of linked portals. One where I'm
Shit.
standing,
Okay.
one 1,000 feet toward the forest.
Got it. Love it.
And then, so that's my action. And yeah, those will go up they'll be up for 10 minutes.
Okay, so you guys have time to wait for Cad.
Yes.
Okay. With that then, is there anything else you would like to do with your turn?
Nope.
Cool. Let's do this because we have basically 2 groups and Cad's still gonna have a couple rounds of getting to us. Is there anything that the tree line group would like to do? Otherwise I'll kind of speed run the rest of this.
Anything I can do to help them? Wait, what's the order? What's the range on this?
Cad's a couple pretty far from you all, but you do see.
I don't like this turn of fates where I was
Yeah,
the
Cat
fastest
is the
person,
back of
and
the
now I can't fucking move faster than all y'all magic fucks.
Cat is at the back
I mean,
of the
you
line.
can now because some of us have no spell slots to do any of that anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you all, the tree group, Goose and the Boys, as I like to say,
Goose and the boys.
Goose and the Boys see a kind of ethereal astral gate appear. And through it, excuse me, through it you see pretty much what you're looking at now. You're just seeing like a mirror image of very distant like Cad and closer Arthea and Faraday waiting for her. And then, but that's probably within a couple 100 feet of where you are. So is there anything that, yes, Goose and the Boys, Johan can't do anything.
It's
So-
the arcane gate. That's, I mean, the range on that is far enough that it's like the tree line, right?
It's
I
a,
can't make it to the
can't-
make it to the tree line.
Yeah,
I can
not
get
quite.
it about half the distance, maybe
Oh,
a
okay,
little
okay.
bit more than that.
but it's
That's
still
with
definitely
the distance spell.
With
With the-
distance spell, I can
Mhm.
only
Gotcha.
double the range. So
Gotcha.
So you
up
still
to
have a
1,000
couple
feet.
hundred, probably like 500 feet or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moose is probably gunning it for that portal just because Moose knows Pike, Misty Step, Dimension Door. Like,
he
I
can
am-
move people
I
from the
am the
portal to the
person.
tree line.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moose is running to that portal. Is just like, yeah, go, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dermot's probably following.
Okay. To rendezvous towards the
Yeah,
At the
to
portal.
get to and then through the portal to try and get Ked, you're moving like 90 feet around, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm gunning for Cad specifically.
Okay.
Because without any help, I can 60 around.
Okay, so you can get her there faster.
Yeah.
Oh, I can Dimension Door straight to that portal too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, just Dimension Door.
Just
Yeah.
do you take Dermot with you with that dimension door?
If Dermot's moving in that direction, then yeah. If I see
Yeah.
like Dermot's
Or
on the way
Thurston.
there, I'll just grab by the wing and just.
Oh yeah, you're still an eagle.
I screech encouragement.
Thurston, is there anything, or would you like to hold down the fort with Johan and kind of keep an eye on things?
Yeah, he literally uses this
Tapped.
point until you guys are closer to him.
Okay.
He's super long distance or super close.
Yep.
Nothing else.
Well, 10 minutes is plenty of time, even in rounds, for for Cad to get to the rest of the girls. I will have the girls roll me. We'll just do a quick and dirty. Roll me another dex save, please.
Natural 20.
Love it.
So 30.
Okay.
10.
Okay. Prone but
If
not.
I'm with you, am I with you at this point?
I'll say I'll have you guys roll one more. So this one you're not quite there yet.
Okay.
Arthea, you are knocked down, but
Yep.
you are not tossed into the air.
Cool.
As you're kind of, you and Faraday are kind of like trying to guard the arcane gate, but like, and like telling Cad to like hurry the fuck up, but like dodging and kind of just keeping like circles around these tornadoes. There's
nothing, and it's, I mean, it's an arcane gate. It's not like you can really brace yourself against it. You
Right.
just fall through if you try. So
yeah,
it's
I mean, and technically
I'm
you
doing
can
the-
jump in and out of it. So
that's true, but then and end up in different wind.
Yeah.
I'm doing the thing that you do, that you see the people do that they're not supposed to do during hurricanes, where you lean into the wind.
all right.
The Florida man. I'm familiar with this
Yes.
move.
Yes. I'll have the girls do one more deck save.
I'm still chuckling over Goose and the Boys.
I feel like that's gonna be a common group name.
I feel like that needs to be like a comic strip. Like,
Yes.
20 for me.
There go them Goose Boys again.
I'm just gonna stay prone.
Oh, then take advantage.
I mean, I rolled a
Use
13.
Okay.
I
then
honestly
yeah.
don't even know. I could theoretically roll above whatever it is, but not likely.
Not like that. All right. Cool.
No, I'm just gonna. I recognize.
Sit on the
the
ground in
lowest
front of
I
the
can
gate.
roll.
Yeah. Just like plant yourself, grab onto like the wheat grass, and like just kind of.
She's realized. Yeah. By this point, she
You know what?
understands
Arthea's
that.
wayfish. She's
Yeah,
very nice.
She's very small, even for an elf. She's really small. Like, she is short. She knows her strengths lie in other areas, and it does not involve things like this.
Yeah, that's fair.
But either way, yeah, she's gonna be on the ground.
Totally fair. I will say for the rest of this, Cad, you do eventually, Dermot and Moose pop out of the portal. And I will say, instead of drawing this out round by round, you all are able to utilize whatever resources you have left. You have enough movement amongst all of you and resources to get Cad into the portal, everybody else through the portal, and then to the trees.
Mhm.
Yeah, Cad, you are definitely now the slowest member. Well, you're probably not the slowest, but pretty close. Until everybody
Feel
uses
some
their
kind of
spell
way about
slots.
being the
I-
charity
I-
case here.
I let Cad,
Right.
Cad gets an extra move as a reaction every round. So
That's true. So she's 120 feet basically.
And
if she's
really,
not doing stuff.
it's
Unless
only
I
until everyone
grab
runs out of spell
Cad
slots.
and you give
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Dermot that extra move.
that's true. That's true. That might be more efficient. We'll see.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. And and I mean, at this point, any of the things that go far distances are pretty much,
Yeah.
aside from the anything that can move lots of people.
Yeah. The
Only
mass.
mass movement. We're done for the day.
As you all get to the tree line, you do ride out a couple more gusts of wind, kind of clutching to the trees.
Mm-hmm.
You still all hear that wailing. I won't make anyone roll saving throws because you're not really in the depths of it. But you do hear, Thurston, you kind of recognize that wailing, the voices aren't as clear, but you still kind of hear that noise. Everyone else, you do hear this like crying. It sometimes can be mistaken for the wind, but just these haunted voices as the tornadoes kind of spin around and eventually spin out and dissipate. The patches of ground where the whirlwinds last stood are coated in thick clumps of gray ash. However, for miles, so from the mile that you ran to every direction from this copse of trees, the fields surrounding you have been swept clean. The result is a truly majestic sea of wheat and grass that looks to have been smelted from gold. Johann lets out a breath and whistles. Beauty almost makes you forget the horror that made it possible, huh?
Sorry.
Is
That was
that an
intrusive
Oh,
thought.
I will
I
remember
asked
that.
how. I asked how did he whistle? Because he doesn't have
He
lips.
doesn't have lips. That's okay.
The intrusive thoughts came out. I'm
just
sorry.
does.
He just does.
He's
Um,
special. Is this a regular occurrence? Is this a regular?
He kind of dusts himself off, similar to before Dermot had used prestidigitation, like cleans off the dust and the ash from his coat and says, This region of the crossing shouldn't be getting shadow twisters at this time of the season. Something's
Shadow
off.
Twisters. No,
I'm
thank
sorry,
you.
there is a season for shadow twisters.
Season for
Also
everything.
that.
We should get to the
No.
junction as fast as we can. We have one more stop before we go.
Isn't
And he straightens the lapels on his coat, adjusts his hat, and heads into the copse of trees. And from there, we will pause our game for the evening.
Hey.
We have
The
so many
world of-
questions.
So
know.
many questions.
I love the nonchalant way that he's just like, this isn't the season for this. These usually don't start until March.
Yeah.
Something is
Ah,
off.
yes. It's Firestorm season, not Shadow Twister season.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I
Great.
mean, on the one hand, I'm glad that at least I guess there's something that comes normally. On the other hand, I'm glad there's
Also, why
seasons.
does this world have climate change? That seems messed up. You can't even escape it when you die.
I mean, to be fair, we did do that thing where we were using that contraption to punch holes in various worlds.
But that wasn't our fault.
We might have let the climate change in.
Oh, that's true. Maybe that is our fault.
Punched a hole in the ozone layer.
Kind
We
of, yeah.
We probably did.
But yes, friends, welcome to the Sunless Crossing.
Mm.
We
I
will
don't
get
like this
you-
at all.
I don't
and
feel very
love
welcome.
it.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's not the worst place we've been.
We are
That's
dead, allegedly.
Not a
Like-
high bar.
I'm just very interested since I'm really interested to see. So we don't have money, but we do have some things. I'm very curious how much one can barter things for here.
She'll find out. We will leave that for our future adventures as we
Yeah.
continue in the Black Ballad for the next couple
Yeah.
months, however long it takes us to get through it.
Woo.
But thank you all for playing. I'm really excited
Thank
about
you
this
for
game.
running,
Yeah, this is-
Sam.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really
It's
fun.
gonna be a good
Good.
time.
Yeah, this is fucking awesome.
Good, good.
I love it.
We can move. Noted.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can move. I'm taking notes.
We're fast as fuck, boys.
Yes. Thank you to Storytellers Forge for the wonderful story we are going to be telling.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
for the music you all hear on the starting soon in the BRB screens are part of the Diamante Black Ballad soundtrack. Next week I'll try and throw their QR code up so that you can find their website at least. But yeah, thank you all for playing. Thank you for those who watched. Don't forget to donate to Extra Life for those real shitty rolls.
Yeah.
And we will see you all next week.
Yes.
Woo.
Bye,
Bye.
friends.
Okay, bye.